Hey everybody, welcome to another video, and today we are going about a really big update that has just dropped in for Helldivers 2. So this is the official patch notes for Helldivers version 1.000.2.2.2 basically, and this is a very big update. It's got a lot of stuff compared to the previous patch, which was a couple of bug fixes, and this is a big one, right? This is a big one. Lots of changes, lot of balancing, a lot of new additions. No, not new addition. Oh yeah, a couple of new additions. But yeah, we will go through it one by one. I have the game open beside me as well, so I won't be able to we'll try and dive a little bit deep into some of these batches, but not to a whole lot of them, right? So let's actually read through this, go through this one by one, and let's pretty much kind of like see where we are at, right? As you know, as of recent, they're trying to like the game masters or whatever, they're trying to like kind of like force us to because right now the game was made in such a way, the bugs, what it's been look like the bugs are kind of like easy compared to the automatons, so they're kind of like trying to push us towards defeating the automatons, eradicating them in entirety. So that's where the game is heading towards at the moment. So let's see what have they introduced these patches to us, right? So the updates includes balance changes to mission stratagems, weapons, enemies, and Helldivers. General fixed stability improves, increase level cap. Now this is a big one. We'll dive right into this soon because they talk about it later. Right, gameplay. First one, planetary hazard additions, blizzards and sandstorm. So two new additions, two new planetary hazards added to the game. So we can now run into blizzards or sandstorms depending on any desert type island, kind of like Helmire. I think it was like a desert, so it has firestorms. So the last one was they added firestorms, and I think it was the iron storm. Was it the iron storm or was it the quake? I think the meteor shower, right? So now they've added blizzards. You can run into blizzards at ice planets and sandstorms into desert planets. Wonderful additions. Picks up the challenge, kind of like adds up to the challenge a little bit, which is fine. Now here's the really, really big one. Increase level cap. Level cap has been increased from 50 to 150. That is a big one. I'm going to move my camera right now. So yeah, I'm going to move it right here. So as you guys can see, my game, I am now level 56 automatically. If you just boot into your game, and if you have been playing Helldivers, past level 50, the accumulated XP would just instantly count. So it's not like you're going to start off from 50 from as of today's updates. Your accumulated XP until now will add up and you will level up, right? So I am currently now level 56. So we can just, so this is one thing some of the players have been saying, once you hit level 50, once you've unlocked all the stratagems, once you've unlocked all the ship upgrades, you kind of like don't have any once you've like pretty much got all the acquisitions, unlocked all the banners. If you are into that kind of stuff, I have not. I'm just spending medals as and when I see fit. So if you've done all that, a little bit of some of the people have said, they've lost the motivation to play the game. So I guess this is, they've added a little bit. So there's a new level cap now. We can go to level 50. So that should mean that, where's the armory? Do we have, does that mean new titles? No, it seems like we are still Skull Admiral is the highest one. So I guess from Skull Admiral onwards, you can increase your level cap. But I mean, like initially it was like all about, because the levels hardly meant anything, right? I think no, levels did play a factor because you have to be of a certain level to unlock certain stratagems. But now that there are no new much stratagems to be added, like the last two stratagems could also be easily unlocked, which was the heavy machine gun and the quasar laser cannon. There's not much of an incentive still to get high levels, other than maybe for bragging rights and things like that. But it is a nice addition. You feel a little bit motivated, I guess, to keep grinding. For me, for levels, it was all about unlocking the stratagems and getting some new titles. Since there are no new titles and there are no new stratagems to unlock, for me it's fine. Like I wouldn't mind like leveling up since there's something to do now, but it's not too motivating for me. It's just my personal opinion, but I think it's fine because other than that, XP levels do not play much of a factor, right? They do not give you, there are no stat boosts or anything depending on your level, so it's all right for now, right? So that's the first big update. Level cap is increased to 150, so that's somewhat like a big one. So right, let's see what else do we have here. I'm gonna move my camera back down here, right? I'm gonna move it down there. All right, good. Right, what else? Balancing missions. Retrieve essential personnel. Move the enemy spawn points further away from the objective to give players a fairer chance of defending a location. Oh my goodness, this is amazing, right? One of the hardest missions, especially on higher difficulties, right? One of the most annoying missions has been they made the defense missions, the eradicating missions, a lot harder because it was quite easy. It was easy for XP farming and things like that. It was a very straightforward mission. They really did it a lot harder by packing up the spawn points, making sure enemies can flank you from multiple angles rather than coming up the hill, that weird hill. And they've changed the map also a little bit, so they made that harder. So this is the next big change to maps to like missions, to the missions, right? Retrieve essential personnel. This is the one where you need to escort those personnel from different like bunkers, hit the switch and escort them to this hangar, right? And this was, especially on high difficulty, this was such a headache because there is no end to the spawns, right? They keep popping up after, if automatons or termites, you name it, charge after charge, bile titan after bile titan, hulk buster after hulk buster, tank after tank. They just keep flanking you. You have no way of overcoming their overwhelming force and safely escorting the personnel at the same time. I've had so much headaches with missions like this. It's just, they just spawn way too close, right? They just keep coming, like every single time, right? Right at the edge of the base, like they just start spawning. Either a new buckhole spawns or a dropship comes. They just keep coming one and after another. So they move the spawn points further away to give us time to set up, I guess. So I guess it is. I'm not sure how much of a difference this makes. I'm not sure how further away. So we need to check this out. That this is a small win, I would say, not a big. And they have reduced. So there are few civilians required to complete the mission on higher difficulties. This is also good. Escorting 40 civilians is just way too much, man. It is just way too much. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, to me, honestly, 40, dude. Oh my goodness. I could never understand the number, right? I never found it as an issue. Like, I never complained about it because I thought maybe, I mean, like, higher the difficulty is fine, but they could have like toned it down. There were other missions anyway to do. So no, and you kind of like. And a lot of these retrieve essential personnel missions, we would just skip past it, right? If I see it in the operation, I would just not take that operation, right? I did not want to do this. It was not fun, right? So I guess this would be a little bit of an incentive to play this mission now. Then again, not yet to see how much this mission has changed, but this is a small win, I would say. Destroy common bunkers. This was a new mission that was recently added. Now has more objectives. Yeah, I kind of felt like this did. It was pretty straightforward. It was like kind of like destroying the hangars, kind of like search and destroy, the blitz missions, right? You kind of like go to the bunker, call in a hell bomb, and you're done, as far as the mission objective goes. So I think it can now appear in operations from difficulty 5. So I think that's challenge difficulty. I didn't notice this because I didn't play on lower difficulties. I assumed they were there in lower difficulties, but apparently it was not the case. So I usually play suicide, between suicide and hell dive, depending on what I feel like. But yeah, what else? Operation modifiers. Half the negative effect of operation modifiers that increase stratagem cooldowns and call into. Oh my goodness, this is big. Every time in some of the planets when they have atmospheric, kind of like atmospheric hazards or things like that, it affects your stratagem. It affects your stratagems and reinforce times. They increase the cooldowns and increase the time it takes to be called. And sometimes they do have quite an insane time, like 20 seconds. Sometimes I think that's the worst I've had. 20 seconds for a drop, a supply drop, or any drop, any support weapon drop is ridiculous, right? And even for an airstrike, like especially a 500 kg, it takes so long for that bomb to drop, even without any cooldown nerfs on its own, right? On standard time, it takes a few seconds, right? And that is such a pain. like the target would have moved, cleared, and moved to the other end of the map by now, right? So this is a huge win, right? I like this, right? Um, uh, Half the time, I guess it's still a negative effect, but yeah, at least this is more manageable. So this would make all this kind of an operation modifier a little bit easier to play with. All right, this should be interesting. Primary, secondary, and support weapons. Arc thrower, fixed charging inconsistencies. Ever since I got the arc shotgun, I haven't used the arc thrower a lot, so I'm not sure about this charging inconsistencies. I haven't exactly felt it a lot, but yeah, maybe. Arc thrower reduced distance from 50 to 35. Ooh, kind of a nerf, but it's not too bad. I mean, like if people are just using the arc shotgun now, it's fine. It has a lower range anyway, so you're used to dealing with it. So if you're used to using the arc shotgun, the arc thrower, this nerf to the arc thrower distance is, I guess, it would be fine. It's not too bad. But they have buffed the stagger force. That means more pushback, more stun, arc throw. So that is quite good. Guard dog now restores full ammo from supply boxes. This is quite good. That's good. Anti-material rifle damage increased by 30%. Ooh, interesting. Now the anti-material kind of like loses its value the minute you unlock, like during the initial stages, like whenever you get the recoilless rifle, the what do you call it, the rail gun. After that, the anti-material is properly it's useless, right? So I'm not sure if this is their way of giving it back its kind of like its spotlight again, because the anti-material rifle was very good at early levels. After that, long distance shooting did not. I mean, it was okay. Like it's not a big thing. This could be. I mean, like it has good penetration power. So if it's good against all the, I think it might be somewhat nice against the rocket devastators and things like that. But yeah, increased by 30%. That's a big one. Breaker incendiary. So this is the incendiary shotgun, right? So breaker incendiary damage per bullet increased from 15 per bullet to 20 per bullet. Oh, so a small 15 to 20 per bullet. So it shoots a spray. So that's a big. This is kind of like a big buff to the breaker, right? So the breaker incendiary is this gun right here in Inquisitions inside the first war bundle, the first premium war bundle, the Steel Veterans. The first gun you get somewhere around here. This one, the breaker incendiary. So this has got a buff. So it seems like this could be good, especially against the termites, against the bugs. A lot of spray, a lot of firepower. Let's check the tab. 240 damage. So yeah, I think they buffed it. Okay, so they've buffed this weapon, and let's see. So they buffed that shotgun. Fire damage tick increased by 50% from all sources. Oh, so they buffed the breaker incendiary, and then they buffed all the weapons that does fire damage. Like the flamethrower, the breaker incendiary, the incendiary grenade, anything that does fire damage. That does the fire damage over time. Fire damage per tick increased by 50% from all sources. I guess this means like fire damage to you as well, and not just your weapon. So this is another buff. So the breaker incendiary weapon is looking really good right now, right? Liberator penetrator now has a full auto. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! The liberator penetrator. For those of you who are unfamiliar with that weapon, that is, I think, the one you get. Was it the one you? Was it the first one you get? Independence. No, that's the Punisher. Wait, which one was the Liberator Penetrator? It was the other assault rifle, right? Oh yeah, this is the one, the Liberator Penetrator. This had a burst fire mode. This was so annoying, right? This had a burst fire mode. It had, like, this was a bit of a downgrade, to be honest, right? It was a bit of a downgrade from the normal Liberator, simply because it had a burst fire mode, right? You couldn't get enough shots in time. You couldn't get the full auto damage you wanted, right? And this is a big this is a bit of a buff. I think this is a big buff. Let me just check the primary weapons. So this is the Liberator. So 55 damage. It still has lower damage, but the fact that you can, It has medium armor penetrating, and the fact that you can quickly get you can put this in full auto now. I think this kind of like brings up the value of the weapon, but I still don't think it's good enough because of the it still has a much yeah, it still has a lot of a low ammo capacity, but yeah, you still get better primary weapons than the liberator penetrator. So it's a bit of a win, but it's a good buff, but it's nothing too crazy. It doesn't make the liberator penetrator broke or anything. Nothing like the shotguns, man. Nothing like the breaker shotguns. Like each of the breaker shotguns, the breaker, the incendiary, and the breaker spray and pray, all of them are really good in their own way, right? All of them are really good. I mean, the breaker is still good, right? The breaker, the sickle was the kind of like my personal favorite. Breaker, sickle, and then now the arc blitzer. Top three weapons. I can't, no complaints about it. Like some of the best weapons ever. All right, moving on. Fire damage take. Okay, we are there. Dominator. Dominator increased damage from 200 to 300. Dominator. Which one was the Dominator? I forgot which weapon was the Dominator. I think. No, that's a Scorcher. I think it's this one, right? I think in the last weapon in the Steel Veterans, I think that was the one. Was this the yes? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, I remember. So the because of the fact that the breaker. So when the first war bundle was out, the fact because the breaker was still good, right? Oh my goodness. Because the breaker was still good, because it has still had 100+ damage over this Dominator. I mean, it was still a good, better shotgun, but it seems now from this update, the Jarfight Dominator could be the best shotgun because it still has like it has the same damage, it has more ammo capacity, and it has medium armor penetration, whereas the Breaker just has what? The Breaker just has a let's see, where's the Breaker? 330. Okay, so it still has 30 more damage, but still, it has a lot more ammo capacity, and it has a it has a lower fire rate, is it? But still, but you know, it has medium armor. Yeah, the Dominator is like somewhat like I would say neck and neck with the Breaker now. Not too crazy, but they brought a Dominator up. I think they wanted it to feel a bit more valued, right? A lot of people did say because I didn't get the first bundle. But people who did get the first bundle said that they did complain quite a bit that they had did a lot of effort in grinding out these medals to get the Dominator and just to see that Breaker was still good. So yeah, it still has a lower fire rate, higher recoil, higher capacity though, but yeah, it has a much more manageable damage now. Yeah, there's a good damage. So increased damage, increased stagger, so more pushback, that's good. So the Dominator, good buffs I would say. Nothing too crazy, but still good buffs. Diligence, counter snipe. Oh my goodness! Finally, some sniper rifles. The sniper rifles in this game, like after a certain point, beyond the after certain points, I felt like the sniper rifles did not matter at all. Right? Increased armor penetration from light to medium. The Diligence sniper rifle, was that the first one or the one after that? So let's see, page 3. You get the Diligence somewhere. Diligence. Oh, that's the first one. So it's medium. Okay, all right. So the sniper rifle is now medium armor penetration. Oh my goodness! Finally, this was light, man. I don't have no idea why any of the sniper rifles were light penetration. Okay. So damage and everything is still the same. They just made light. We need to try out all these weapons and see how much of a difference does it actually make. I don't think like it's too crazy to the fact that you will use anything else. You would go out of your like. I think by now a lot of people are just used to using the Breaker shotguns, the sickle, the arc blitzer, the regular liberator, and any of the breakers. Not a lot of people, the primaries they sway away from that because those guns are still performing quite quite at a very high level. So I don't think this is any crazy. This is a crazy. I don't think any of these. The Dominator might see some action now, but I don't think anything else will see too much action. I mean, like, yeah. Slugger. I've never used the Slugger shotgun because I prefer the Breaker's automatic shotgun. So reduce. Oh, they've nerfed it quite. They've nerfed it. Reduce stagger, reduce damage, reduce demolition force, fixed armor penetration tag, and then for the slugger, liberator, senator is the pistol. That's the first pistol you get in the Steel Veterans War Bundle pack. That's this one. That would be this one, the senator. So they fix some incorrect armor penetration tags in the menu. Okay, so it's that. Okay, I haven't used slugger much, so I'm not sure how much this is going to impact. I've seen a few people using the slugger. I never liked it at all because like once you use the breaker, you feel like you really don't want any other shotgun in this game. All right, recoilless rifle. Increase the number of rockets you can store from supply boxes. From 2, you can restore from 2 to 3. Okay, small buff to the recoilless rifle. You can get 3 rockets from a supply box. Alright. Spear. Increase the number of missiles you can restore from supply boxes from 1 to 2. Alright, okay, some buffs to the recoilless rifle stratagem and the spear stratagem. I think what they should do is, if they want to nerf this, if they want to buff this, one thing is the spear. They need to fix the targeting. Sometimes it's still hard to get the targeting off. I think that's what they really need to fix. Recoilless rifle, I think they just need to reduce the reload time, improve it, something like that. Because I hardly need to use the recoilless rifle, especially you either use the what do you call it, the anti-tank, the disposable anti-tank weapons. I mean, like that feels like a better because it has a lower cooldown call-in time as well. So I feel like the recoilless rifle does not need to be like it doesn't have any usage because of that. Spear, yes, I've seen quite a few players using spear. I'm not a fan of the spear. Mainly, even not even because of the targeting issues that people run into, but I just feel like it's not. I feel like it's not worth it. You can call having like better stratagems. I mean, the exosuit is already quite good. So like in terms of like heavy weapon stuff, exosuits, like there's a lot of I feel like there are other better options than the spear. Heavy machine gun. Oh, so this is one of the newest stratagems. The increase the highest fire rate mode, reduced from 12,000 RPM to a more moderate 950. Is this a way to help players deal with the recoil without actually reducing the recoil? Is that their way of doing it? I'm not sure how much this would matter, but I mean, I use the heavy machine gun and it is quite good. I would say it has like some really good penetration. It helps like deal with devastators quite easily. But yeah, I'm not a fan. Like a lot of because the heavy machine gun was always meant to be like stay in one place and shoot. And the thing is, like in higher difficulties, what I've noticed and what I've been through is like I hardly have time to sit around. I'm always on the move, right? And yeah, that's how my playstyle has kind of like evolved into. Stratagems. Patriot exosuit. Rockets will now penetrate armor only on direct hit. I haven't noticed anything getting penetrated without a direct hit. Oh wait. Okay, so okay, I think I know this. So in the case of, all right, so in the case of like a charger, if you hit directly to the armor plating, the area of the armor plate, that will break off, but any other armor plating would not break off. Like they'll get damaged. I guess that's what it means. This is okay. I mean, a lot of times we try to go for the direct hit only. Like we are always careful with our rockets when using the Patriot exosuit. Ever since they kind of like nerfed the accuracy of the rockets, yeah, we've been trying to be careful. Yeah, this is fine. Enemies balancing adjustments have been made to charges. Normal melee attack does less damage. Oh my goodness! This is a good nerf. I feel like the exosuits are still fragile even with this nerf to charges. Yeah, but initially like it was quite hilarious, like how charges could one shot exosuits. Bile spear and nursing spears do less damage with the oh my goodness, yes, dude, it just makes no sense. Like I could understand a bile spear because it is like one of the biggest baddest bugs out there that it can just one shot you with the puke. But nursing spears, like who are they, where do they come from? They just run up to you and before you can kill them they just do a little puke and you're dead. It's worse than the Hulkbuster flamethrower. At least the flamethrower, you have a chance like of using a stim and getting yourself out of there. The nursing tool is just like there's no reaction time to even use a stim. It's just instant death. So yeah, I'm glad they do. I'm wondering how much less damage, but yeah, the Bile Titan can no longer be stunned. Ooh, interesting. So it cannot be stunned, but it still can be staggered, right? Shriekers no longer create bug breaches. Oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure this bug breach was a bug, right? Wasn't it supposed to be? I feel like it was a bug. The Shriekers are causing bug breaches, but apparently it's what they could do. I thought it was a bug. Shriekers hitting you while they are dead now does significantly less damage. I still think that Shriekers do a lot of damage just by diving into you. Way too much damage sometimes. But yeah, okay, this is fine. Like, it's fine. Like, okay. Helldivers balancing adjustments made to heavy and medium armor protects better. And now you take about 10% less damage than before while wearing heavy, and 5% less when wearing medium. Oh, so they've buffed the armor of heavy and medium armor. I still don't think it's still a good reason to use heavy armor because I would like a bit of mobility. Let's actually check out the armors. I didn't check it out. Armory. Alright, what have we got here? Armor rating 100. So 70, 50, it's 100. And the heavy armors? Armor rating 150. Huh. Okay. Alright, so I can see the buffs made. Now our ratings are up. So by 5% it said, right? Yeah, I'm still going to prefer the light armor because I prefer the speed mobility it gives you, right? Especially if you're using the light gun, it already has a higher armor rating. It has the extra padding passive, so yeah. Then again, this kind of like falls down to your preference. All right. So far, yeah, this is quite a big patch. What else? Fixed issues when saving settings in the PS5. Okay, enemies now properly target exosuits. Previously, enemies. Okay, so now they will no longer. So they will keep prioritizing the exosuit regardless. Alright, okay. Fix exosuit being able to fire the weapons. Well, oh my goodness, this was so annoying. I mean, you could never use a minimap from inside an exosuit. I'm glad that they finally fixed this. The Helldive and the exosuit both had a bug that made him sometimes take explosion damage by multiple times, making things like automated rockets to be deadly. Oh shit, that was a bug. Either automated rockets, either it was just the exosuit was too fragile. Automated rockets always like, okay, maybe this will make exosuits a bit more effective against automatons, but I still think that exosuits struggle against automatons mainly because you're just a big walking target to them, and the automatons have so many range attacks. Automated enemy constellations that prefer to spawn more of a certain devastator type did not work. Oh my goodness, we are going to get more devastators. That means more of the shield devastators, more of the rocket devastators, and more of the regular devastators. This means that sometimes when playing against automatons, you will face more devastators instead of other automatons. Oh man, running into enemy devastators like patrols and airship drops is just so annoying. Like especially the rocket ones, man. You just know you are like if once they have oh my goodness, so many times I've hit by some stray rocket here and there. Like it's just so annoying. What is this? Improvements to the health pod steering. Solved issues with effective areas surrounding objects a lot larger. Okay. Reduce the number of objects that will prevent health pod steering. Okay, so this means like you can steer a bit more, like especially when you're on top of objectives and things like that. Fix cases where the ground under some assets could be bumped. Okay. Ballistic shield changes. Oh my goodness, I have never used the ballistic shield. I have no idea what kind of a change or big does this make. I've never bothered with the ballistic shield. I think it's one of the most useless stratagems ever. You hardly have a I mean, yeah, man. I've never used the ballistic shield. I've never had the reason to use it. I don't think anyone has a reason to use the ballistic shield. I think it's a waste of a support stratagem. collision mesh has been slightly decreased to increase the size of more forgiveness. Change shield poses so that the Helldive is less exposed. Address the bug by part of the Helldive will become vulnerable while using the shield in first person. Oh, interesting. I've never used it, so I don't know. I'm not sure how much these changes would affect it. I don't think it. No one. I don't think it'll still have a higher usage rate. Tutorial invisible. Okay, bug in the tutorial. That's fine. Various issues involving friends and cross players. Okay. Planet reparation reaches 100 at the end of every defend mission. Okay. Oh, there was an issue. Oh, I keep saw this. Okay, fine. I've seen this one. Stratagem B might attach himself to an enemy but will deploy to its original location. Oh. So so these are just known issues. They have not fixed it. All right. Stratagem G might. Okay, fine. Yeah, man. I've always hit a charger with one of these airstrikes, and I keep thinking it's going to track them, but it just misses it. Like yeah, unfortunate. Some players' customizations like title or bot time may reset. Yes, I've run into this so many times. All right, so this is a big patch. Wow, what a time to be a Helldiver. So many big things are coming out. So I mean, yeah, I think they're just setting up, for the, for the new. They're just setting, they're just setting us up for, the new exosuits that are yet to come out and the new APC trucks and all that are yet to come out, right? But still, I would like to see. I'll say it once and I'll keep saying it. I would like to see stats given to helmets and capes so that we have a reason for switching out our helmets and capes, mix matching, create different builds. Please give them passives. Please give them different armor ratings if you must. Like, okay, never mind the armor ratings, right? Okay, let's just give them some passives. Let's just spice things up, right? I would like to use several helmets, mix and match, and and not make them purely cosmetics, right? Don't make them purely cosmetics. Let's have some armor passives, right? Let's get some broken Helldiver builds out there. Capes also. Wow, what a loss. These are just lost causes, right? Because like if you give them passives, right? Because other than for like I don't know how many people actually do this. Like we have really zero. Like why would we want to like use the superstore at all? Like the armors, yes, but the helmets, there's no reason to spend super credits on in the superstore. They should give the players a reason to use it, right? We need to see stats for not stats but passives at least, right? For helmets and capes. And the last one what I want is what I want is for the where is it? Yep. Last but not least, the Patriot exosuit, right? What I want them to do is not to add new exosuit types, but to allow us to customize what kind of a Patriot exosuit loadout we can get, right? The Patriot has 2 arms. Let us equip let us choose what we want to equip on those 2 arms. So everyone gets different Patriot exosuits, right? Because I think in some instances, like I think the Patriot exosuit will perform a lot better if we have the ability to equip a shield generator on the Patriot exosuit against automaton, so that we can I don't know, deal with the ongoing bombardments of rockets from different angles, because the Patriot suit is not exactly does not have the best mobility, right? Either that or just give the Patriot suit, the exosuit a dash. Give it like a small jetpack so you can just jump and do a little dash here and there. That would be nice. Not to the extent to make it like a Gundam or something, not to make it like a Gundam wing, but a little small dash. Like you see in what Titanfall, things like that. But yeah, so I like this patch, right? A lot of new stuff keeps the game interesting, right? Not giving us Helldivers a break. I like that. Devs are always busy, really good. So yeah, for democracy and liberation, keep other thing is like let's have some more funny, voice dialogue, right? Like we've heard them all, like especially when you're fighting a heavy machine gun, right? We've heard the crazy dialogue, like for democracy, and then you like the evil laugh, ha ha ha. Let's have some more crazy shit like that, right? That is just epic shit. But yeah, So there you guys have it, the patch uh, 1.0.0.2.00. It's live. Let me know what you guys think about the patch in the comments below. And yeah, this is a bit of a long video, but we kind of like discussed a lot in depth. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know what you guys would like to see in the game in the future. And yeah, do like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you guys enjoy the channel and my content. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream then. Till next time then, bye bye.